Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel SAP Navigator. In this video, we will discuss about the credit memos and debit memos in SAP SD. So what are the credit memo and debit memo and where it will be used, at what situation this credit memo or debit memo will be issued. So these and all we will discuss in this video. So before going to our video, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel SAP Navigator. If you have any queries, you can write an email to sapnavigator@gmail.com. Okay, let's get into our today's video. First, we will try to understand what is credit memo. So credit memo will be issued to reduce the customer billing amount and it will be used for returns, price differences and damages. Okay, the thing is, when our customer is overcharged, let's say the price of product is around 100, okay, 100 rupees or 100 euros, whatever it is. But thing is, customer is charged for 120. So there is a difference of 20, right? So the customer is overcharged. So for that 20, we have to return back to the customer. So that 20 rupees, we will create a credit memo for the customer. So we are giving credit to the customer. So in those kind of cases, we will create the credit memo. So it will be used for returners. Like let's say when our customer places a return order, so we will took back the return, right? So and the original amount we have to give it back to the customer, including tax also. Okay, so you have to give it back to the customer. So in this case also credit memo will be issued, and price differences and damages, like I said, let's say you have delivered a product but that is somewhat it is damaged, like it is not working 100%, the functionality is not up to 100%, so there was some minor defect, is still the product is working. So rather than taking return back, you told customer to keep this product at 80% of this original value because of some minor defect. Remaining 20% you have to give back to the customer, right? So in that case also you will issue the credit memo to the customer. So he can see results in money returned or adjusted. Okay, so whenever there is overcharge or whenever customer getting the amount, so in those cases only we will get the credit memo. So if you come to the debit memo, it is totally opposite, issued to increase the customer billing. In credit memo, you can see issued to reduce the customer billing amount in credit memo, whereas coming to debit memo, it is issued to increase the customer billing. Let's say the price of product is 120, but customer paid only 100. Okay, at the time of billing, like you might not convey the correct price, so there might be some miscommunication. So that's why he paid only 100 for, but the price of product is actually 120. That remaining 20 customer has to pay to the company, right? So for in those cases we will create the debit memo, company will create the debit memo, so customer will be issued a debit memo. So it will be used for the underbilling means the billed amount is less than the actual billing amount. Okay, any additional charges, okay, like say in some cases freight charges, customer might include his pin code, wrong pin code, so due to that freight is calculated, later he corrected the pin code, so where the freight amount will be more in that case, so that remaining amount also customer has to bear that amount, right? So those cases also we will create the debit memo, so the customer will give back to the money to the company against the original invoice. So this is the case where customer needs to pay extra in debit memo. Coming to the credit memo, here company has give back to the customer, where customer gets the money. Here customer gets the money and here customer pays the money. Okay, that's the only difference. And business scenario, so coming to the credit memo, so when our goods are returned and there is a billing error means only overcharge cases. Okay, coming to debit memo, totally opposite, so undercharged invoice. Okay, when our customer is undercharged less than the actual amount and there is any additional freight or taxes that we discussed before, right? So in similar cases customer will be issued for a debit memo. So we will try to understand the process flow. So in SAP SD process flow for both the debit memo and credit memo, first the customer will be placed an order, so whatever the product you want to buy, he placed the order, then delivery will be created and billing also issued. So in this, after this billing, you came to know that either customer is overcharged or undercharged. So based on that, if he is overcharged, then we will get credit memo, and if he is undercharged, we will create debit memo request. So here the debit memo request, not directly debit memo or debit note. Debit memo request is like an order, sales order. So once the request is approved, when the credit or debit memo request is approved by their every company will have different levels of approval. So either from finance team or else like sales team, there is certain approvals required for it. Why we are issuing the credit or debit memo. So when it is approved, then credit memo will be issued. Okay, This is nothing but a billing invoice. So this credit memo and debit memo process is like order related billing, so where original invoice reference is required. Okay, so the process is like we will create the credit memo request by similarly by VA01. It will refer the original invoice. Okay, because the moment when under credit memo or debit memo, it will refer the original invoice, so that we will get to know against which invoice you are going to give credit or debit memo. And then once a credit memo request is created and approved, then like billing will be done. So billing nothing but a credit note will be issued. So these are the configuration steps for the credit memos or debit memo. So first we have to define the sales document type for the both credit memo and debit memo, and then billing type, which is nothing but a credit note or debit note. So G2 L2, these are two our standards. And the thing is copy control. Copy control between the original invoice and sales document type, and sales document type and billing type. Like these two belong copy control between these two, which are the credit memo request and credit memo, and the copy control between the original invoice and the credit or debit memo doc type. Okay, let's go to the SAP. So I will show you the how to do the configuration and testing and all. So what is our first step? First we have to define the document type for the credit memo or debit memo. Okay, let's go for credit memo first. Okay, let me go to SPRO path. Here you can see sales and distribution, and here you can see sales. Under sales document, after the sales document header, in here you can see define sales document types. So here you have to define the credit memo sales document type. So there are the standard document types also available for it. So see here you can refer. So here you can see credit memo request. If you go look into, if you go there, see here there are certain controls are there. Okay, so the main controls I will tell you. So for this time being, you just copy this one and make it as a copy from, take it as reference, copy as, and then make it as a your custom credit memo. Yes, I will write as SCR. Okay, credit memo request SCR. Okay, CR means credit memo. Okay, yes, credit memo request. Here you can see reference is mandatory. So then only it will ask for the original billing document. So here you are telling reference is mandatory. Under reference you are mentioning M. What does M means? M means invoice. Okay, you can see M means with reference to billing document. Whenever you mention M, then it will refer the invoice. Okay, it will refer the billing document. If it is here, it will refer inquiry. It will refer quotation. It will refer sales order. But in practical scenarios, credit memos and debit memos will be created against the original invoice, right? So here we have the M with reference to billing document. Okay, so here you can see screen sequence group is GA for credit memo and debit memo, incompletion procedure and all these things. And document pricing procedure will be A. So right, document pricing procedure will be used to determine the pricing procedure into the sales document. It is one of the key parameter. Okay, so remaining and all like normal things only. Okay, so here you can see order related billing type. So billing type is order related. Here we have time being it is mentioned G2. So later we will define our own credit memo billing document type. So there we will assign, after that we will assign our billing document here. Okay, and also you can see that billing block Y8. The why I have mentioned the billing block Y8 here, because if you mention the billing block here, whatever billing block here, so the moment you are creating we create sales order, automatically it will apply Y8 block. Okay, there is no manual block required. Automatically this block will be applied. Why it required? So because why you are maintaining automatic billing block in real time. So in actual scenarios, whenever the credit memo or debit memo will be created, that has to be verified by next department, next level of manager or next level of supervisor. So then once it is approved, then they will remove the block. So okay, so that you cannot it's not like you will create the order directly, you will do invoice. Okay, meantime there is some verification is required. For that this block will be there. So then this, whenever the block is there, the system won't allow you to create the billing document. Okay, so that's why we are making automatic block here. Okay, so I copied this one, right? Let me save it. Okay, somebody already used this SCR. So what I say, what about LCR? Okay, so it is also relevant for the copy control as it is relevant. so that all the backend copy controls also will be copied. Press enter. Okay, and then save under this tier. So it is loading. There are a lot of backend configuration, right? So all those configurations are getting copied, so that's why it is taking some time. So whenever we are creating new sales document type, I will recommend you to do the copy as only, because like you will simply define the sales doc, so but there are backend condition like copy controls and all, text and all, there are so many things are there, so that you won't create it. So if you directly go for this order creation screen, there you will get a lot of errors over there. So to avoid that, you better to go with the copy as. Okay, data was saved, click OK. See these many backend tables, 1 2 3 4 5. So now what is our second step? Our second step is define the billing document type. So this setting is done. We have defined the sales document type for the credit memo, and now our step is billing type. So now we have to define the billing type. Let's go to SAP again, and let's go to MD screen. Here under the same sales and distribution node, here you can see earlier we went for sales, right? Now sales part is done. Now billing part. You can go to billing. Under this billing documents, under this define billing type for the sales. Okay, define billing type for the sales. So like I said, we have standard, right? G2 and L2 for credit memo, for G2 and L2 for the debit memo. Similarly, how we did for the sales document, similarly we will do for the billing type also. So we will copy as a G2 and make it as a L2. Okay, yes, this is also relevant for copy control. Okay, somebody is already used this one L2 also. How about K2? Okay, yeah, nobody K2 we can use. Yeah, document is saved. So now save it under TR. So while defining the document types, either billing or delivery or invoice, whatever it is, so when our system is asking is it relevant for copy control, you have to make sure that you should click on yes, so that all the copy control settings also will be copied by backend. So later if you want to different settings, you can change it. Okay, so let's look into K2 type. So K2 we have defined, right? So number, this is number range assignment, which number range it will pick. You can see SD document category. O means credit memo. Okay, usually billing document will have M, right? You can see M, right? And invoice usually it will having, but here it is having O means this particularly for the credit memo. So while defining debit memo, I can show you that this is belongs to P category. Okay, so the same categories will be updated at VBFA tables as well. Okay, this transaction group and invoice list type, all those things. Okay, account determination. Okay, if there is payment card determination. Okay, output determination. Okay, so all those things we have copied from the standard one. Okay, now two settings are done. Okay, so what are two settings is done? One is sales document type we have defined, and second one is billing type we have defined. So okay, and last setting what we are having copy control between the original billing type and credit memo debit memo and debit sales document type. Okay, I will show you what will happen if you don't create the copy control. Okay, let me go to the SAP screen again. So first what I will do, I will create one original invoice. Okay, don't get confused, this is not belongs to credit or debit memo. I'm just creating one original invoice, because credit memo will be issued again as the original invoice, right? Okay, so create something, I will type. So let's say customer is requested for AC installation. Okay, and the condition is base price we are having. Okay, 1200. Fine. So customer request for AC installation, okay, for the price is 1200. Okay, and then we will check for the incompletion, and I will do billing from here. Okay, let me save it. Okay, so if I go there, now if I look at the billing document, the price for the price, it is 1200. Actually the price of AC installation is 1000 only, but at the time we created invoice for 1200 without knowing it. Now we have to give back these 200 back to the customer. So in this case, what we will do, we will create the credit memo for that customer. So if I go there, now I am creating the credit memo VA01. What is our credit memo document type? LCR, and press enter. See, it is asking for reference. Why it is asking for reference? Because we have maintained reference mandatory field as M. If I go to Vivo V8 and if I open LCR or document type LCR, you can see that in reference mandatory category I have mentioned M. M means invoice. Okay, that's why. So that's why it is asking for the billing document. Okay, so what is the billing document I just created the billing document. Let me copy that number. So let me copy this number. I will paste it here. Okay, press enter. Here you can see copying from sales document type SIN to LCR is not supported. Okay, why we got this error? Because we are yet to complete the third step. What is that third step? Copy control between the original invoice and the sales document type, right? And also have you observed that here you can see system is allowing this order type again at this sales area, but I haven't maintained anywhere, but still it is allowing. Why? Because I have copied from the existing one only, so that backend settings sales area determination also will be copied. Okay, now now this step is pending. Copy control step is pending. That's why we got the error. So now we will do this copy control setting. So copy control betting billing and invoice. So if billing is VT, okay, copy control settings VT, and between the we have to create the VTFA from 2. Not VTFA, from 2, right? From billing, right? So VTAF. So here you can see target and source. What is our source? Source is invoice. Okay, and what is our target? Credit memo. Okay, here also I will take the standard one. So there will be settings between CR and F2. Okay, so same I will copy, click on copy. Here what is my sales document type? LCR, right? Okay, and what is source billing type? SIN. My source billing type is SIN. Copying request, billing header. Okay, data transfer routines also VBAK, VBKD, VBPA. VBAK for header, VBKD for business data, VBPA for the partner functions. Enter. This entry copy to dependent entries. What are the dependent entries? All the item categories. Okay, copy all. We are going to copy every item category, schedule line, everything. So total 226. Here you can see, if you go there in the detail, so here you can see header settings. After that you can see item settings as well. So every item copy control details we will be having, right? So there will be no schedule lines, and let me save it. I will make a detailed video on this copy control settings. Okay, so that there you will get to know a lot about the header settings, item settings, and schedule line settings. Okay, and significance of each one. For time being, you just make it as a reference. Okay, now the copy control settings also save. Now if I go to again VA01, LCR, SAP and FIFI. So 1050 is my invoice. If I click on copy, see, now system is allowing. Okay, so that's why copy control is very important to copy the data between two document types. Okay, now see, sold to party I haven't given. How it came? From the original billing document type. Materials also from the original billing document type. So here by default it is taking 1200 because it will copy entire invoice amount. Okay, so that's why the block here. Okay, this also I will show you in Vivo V8 how this block is came here. If I go to Vivo V8, okay, if I go to LCR, our document type, here you can see, if you scroll down, block is Y8. Okay, so this Y8 applied automatically here. Got it? And if you look there, we haven't changed the order letter billing type. Here also we need to update the K2 document. Our document is K2, not G2, right? So system won't allow you to create the K2 document here, so it will allow to G2. So okay, before that let me save it. So here you can see 1200, but we need to give the create amount of 2200 only, right? You go there, and if you go to conditions, so make it as a 200 and save it. There was some incompletion, you just edit it. Order reason, this is also important reason why we are giving credit to the customer. Okay, that reason also we have to mention here, so that the verifier will look into here why we are creating it. So price difference, okay, price was a too high, price was a too high because we charged a higher amount, right? Document is completed and let me save it. Okay, so if I go for billing, we have 01 168. If I go for billing, you can see that in the log it will show there is incompletion, the document is blocked for billing. Okay, why it is blocked for billing? Because the Y8 automatic billing block is applied, right? So that's why it is blocked for billing. If you go to VA021 168 I just created, so this is the control billing block is applied. So the verifier will verify the amount and reason, and then it will make it as a blank. You can click save. So now if I go for billing, we have 01. Now you can see system is allowing, but it is allowing for what document type? G2. But our document is not G2, K2, right? Because that K2 we have to maintain at the order definition, sales document type definition. So let's go there and define over there. So this is the document type definition. Okay, I will make it as a K2 here. So I enter K2 and then save. So if I go to VF01 again, VF01, so if I go for billing, you can see our K2 document came here and the amount is 200. Okay, let me save it. Let me save the billing document. Save. Document has been saved. So if I go to VF03 and check the flow, you can see that. So this is the original sales order. After that we have created the billing record, and then later we have already create memo request for the balance amount, and then credit memo also will be created. And if you open the journal entry here, okay, journal entry of the credit memo, this is the credit memo invoice. Okay, if you go to the original invoice, 151 invoice, go there. Here you can see customer having the positive amount. Okay, I will put you in the side by side so that it will be easy to understand. Don't get confused here. Entry, and this is for the original billing amount journal entry. Original billing amount how much is 1200. Credit memo is 200. Original invoice revenue account is created. Okay, this is revenue, domestic revenue created. Here you can see revenue account is debited, 200 debited. Okay, you can observe. If you look at the debit memo case, so this is the credit memo, right? Debit memo will similar as the credit memo, sorry, original invoice only. So you will get the plus symbol here and minus symbol here. Okay, let's go to the debit memo as well. So similar settings only, depend the document type, billing type, copy control. So if I go to directly, in this case I will directly go to Vivo V8 and debit memo. We have standard debit memo, so I will copy DR and I will create the LDR. Okay, yes, also level to copy control. So everything is copied. Here also you can see reference is mandatory. So here reference is not mandatory, it is maintained. You can maintain the reference mandatory with reference M. If it is blank, there is no reference required for it. Okay, and here also under letter billing type, something it is maintained L2, later we will change it, and billing block Y9 will be applied automatically. Okay, let's save it. So data was saved. Okay, now let's go to, now we have to define the billing type, VOFA. So here also you can copy L2 and make it as a D2. Yes, something is already existing. How about X2? Okay, X2, we can use X2. Press enter. Save under TR. Now next setting is copy control, VTAF. I'm directly going to copy control. Okay, here what is our target is LDR. We will be having this L2 and DR, right? Okay, so this one we can copy, and sales document type is ours is LDR and invoice type is SIN. That's what we are using, and make it as a copy all and save. Okay, now I will create the debit memo. Go to VA01. If I go to VA01 screen, okay, what is our debit memo document type? LDR. So it is asking for billing document. So here I am giving one billing document. So it is copied everything. So here you can see net value also copied from original invoice 800. But the thing is, the price of AC installation is 1000 rupees, but he charged only for 800. So what I will do, I will maintain against extra 200. Okay, so because 200 he has to pay. So here you can see billing block also. Okay, and if you look at the incompletion, so it will ask the order reason also. For debit memos also it will ask for the order reason. Why? Because we have to inform the why debit memo is created. So here you can see price difference only, but in this case price is low. Earlier in credit memo price is high, right? So but in this case price is low. We have to select this and go there, and this billing block, like I make it as a black, because it will restrict us to create the invoice number, right? So let me save it. Okay, so G49 has been saved. So now I will go to VF01. So this is the debit memo request I just created. So press enter. So here you can see debit memo X2, that is our document, billing document type X2 only, right? So for 200 it's got created. Okay, let me save it. Document data was saved. So if I go to VF03 and check the accounting document, the 200 you can see, right? 200 is positive for the customer, which means customer account is 200, right? Customer account is credited, revenue account is, sorry, customer account is debited, revenue account is credited. You can see negative symbol. Whereas in credit memo scenario, it is reverse, like minus sign will be added against the customer account. Okay, so because in this case customer has to give the amount, okay, and about credit memo case, we have to pay the customer. Okay, let me put the credit memo and debit memo accounting entry side by side so that you will understand very clear. Okay, here you can see accounting entries of the credit memo and accounting entries of debit memo. You can see 200 is positive for the debit memo cases for the customer. You can see 200 negative for the credit memo cases for the customer. Okay, here you can see both the things is for the revenue accounts also, like here it is negative, here it is positive, which means here the value revenue account is debited, revenue account is credited, customer account is debited here. So these are credit memos and debit memos will be created in SAP system, and these are some key notes to remember for the credit memos and debit memo cases. You can see always or almost like it will refer the original invoice only. So 99% always credit memos will be referred for the original invoice only. There is a 1% chance credit memo will be created without any original document. So very rare case. Whereas the original document is not there in SAP, it is there in somewhere system. That system like they are not gonna using anywhere. So now they want to issue the credit memo, and so that their accounting entries will be managed in SAP, right? So in this case, very rare cases like credit memo will be created without reference. And pricing, like the amount how much we are going to give credit and how much we are going to debit the amount, so that also will be controlled by pricing, and there is no delivery required for it. So FI posting, so again both the cases credit memo and debit memo, because you also see that, right? So these things we need to remember. And that's it for today, guys. So if you like my video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel SAP Navigator. If you have any queries, either you can write a mail to SAP Navigator for you at gmail.com, or else you can write it in a comment box. If you want any other videos, that also you can mention over the comment box. Thank you, guys. Have a good day.